Namaste to all. My Acharyaji shared a very interesting incident. He had gone to Gurugram to conduct yajna in one of his disciples' house some years back. And a person had come to meet my Acharyaji. He was a Vedantist and he was telling that whatever you may say, Acharyaji, I strongly believe in Neo Vedanta and I believe that Aham Brahmasmi, I am Almighty God, you are Almighty God, everyone is Almighty God. Then my Acharyaji asked him gently, where are you coming from? He said that I am coming from Bharatpur, Rajasthan. If I go to Bharatpur, Rajasthan at this moment, will you be available at your home? My Acharyaji asked. He said, no, I am in front of you. How can I be in Bharatpur? Exactly, this is the difference between Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma is here, you are here. Paramatma is omnipresent. He is here also, he is in Bharatpur also, he is across the world everywhere, he is omnipresent. And that is the concept of Vedas, which is contradicting to Neo Vedanta. So we must all obey to the Vedas philosophy, my Acharya explained to him. Then he realized that I was unable to understand this simple concept you explained to me so well, and then he fell at the feet of my Acharyaji. So when I was reading this Light of Truth 7th chapter, God and Vedas, where Maharishi and Vedantis is talking, I remembered this incident and I thought of sharing with you. See, the Vedanta is putting forward a similar question to Maharishi, is saying that why do you controvert the identity of Almighty God and soul when both of them have the similar qualities? Both of them are existent, that means conscious. Both of them have cognition. They both are having happiness inside them, etc. etc. Maharishi answers, partial similarity is no proof of identity. Example, earth, water and fire are all inert and visible, but they are not identical. Their peculiarities prove their distinctiveness. For instance, earth has order, dryness, hardness, etc. Water has taste, fluidity, softness, etc. While fire has shape, combustibility, etc. These different attributes prove that earth, water and fire are not the same. Men and ants see with eyes, eat with mouths and walk with feet, but they are not the same because men have peculiar shape and 2 feet, while ants have different shape and more than 2 feet. In the same way, God's infinite knowledge, happiness, power and activities, infallibility and omnipresence differentiate him from the soul. And soul have finite knowledge, finite power, finite magnitude, fallibility and minuteness differentiate it from Almighty God. Therefore, Almighty God and soul are not the same. Their natures are completely different. God is finest and soul is grosser. And the questioner is further asking that are God and soul are always distinct, or do they become ever one in even moksha? Maharishi answers that the same analogy what I have explained to you holds good in this case too. Being pervaded by Almighty God, souls and other objects of the world can never be separated from Almighty God, but being of different characteristics, they can never be one. God and soul are always distinct. The Neo-Vedantists, like a one-eyed man, see only one aspect, that is the likeness, and lose the sight of the other aspect, that is the unlikeness. There is no object which has either no qualities or all qualities, no likeness or no unlikeness, no similarity or no dissimilarity, or no relation whatsoever. That means God and soul are ever separate. They can never become one even in moksha. And further the Vedantist asks, is God attributeful, saguna, or attributeless, nirguna? Maharishi answers both. Then the Vedantist asks, can one scabbard hold 2 swords? How can attributefulness and attributelessness both exist in the Almighty God? Maharishi answers, they can. For instance, an inert object has some attributes, example form, and is devoid of some other attributes, example cognition. Having some attributes, it is attributeful, and being devoid of some other attributes, it is attributeless. All the things are attributeful so far as they have their own attributes, and at the same time they are attributeless so far as they are wanting in the attributes of other things. There is no object which is either only attributeful or only attributeless. Attributefulness and attributelessness both reside at the same time in the same object. Similarly, Almighty God is attributeful by dint of possessing His own attributes, infinite knowledge, infinite power, etc. And He is attributeless also, for He is free from the qualities of inert objects such as form and of the soul such as aversion, etc. Questioner. People call the formless Nirguna attributeless and the embodied Saguna as attributeful. As long as God does not incarnate, He is attributeless. When the God incarnates, He is attributeful, says the questioner. Maharishi answers, these are the suppositions of the ignorant and the uneducated people. Those who have no education prattle like animals. Just as a delirious person talks nonsense and nobody accepts it, similarly the statements and belief of ignorance should not be heeded. Then the questioner asks, is God desireful, ragi, or renunciative, virakta? Maharishi answers, neither. Covetousness or desire is always for a thing remote from and better than oneself. There is nothing remote from Almighty God nor better than He. Therefore, it is not possible for him to covet. Renunciative is he who abandons what is in his possession. God, being pervasive, cannot abandon anything. What a beautiful answer. I think we must again and again try to read the concepts of Rishi Munis to understand the in-depth philosophy of Vedas. We can clearly understand that Nirguna Saguna does not mean that God has a form or God is also not having form. Nirguna Saguna is only on the attributes of Almighty God. For example, God is not inert. This means He is Nirguna. He is not having certain characteristics. Saguna means He is Almighty. If somebody says God is Almighty, He is having the quality of Almightiness. So He is Almighty. This is called as Saguna. He possesses those guna, that's why He is called as Saguna. He does not possess a certain guna, that's why it's called as Nirguna. It does not mean that God is both form and formless. I hope you understood. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.